Hello once again everybody from Casual Gamer Oz, F1 2017 Career Mode Season 6 Race 14 at Singapore is where we're at right now. Toro Rosso driver Ben Waterworth. My name is Ben Waterworth. We're the championship leader for the very first time and coming into Singapore. Let's see how we do. Best qualifying here of 10th, best ever finish here of 6th. And we're keeping our difficulty level on to 60. We probably could have reduced it here because it's not necessarily our best circuit, but not our worst circuit either. I feel given that we are obviously implementing flashbacks, we should be within a shot here of maintaining ourselves in the top 13 as well as getting a good points haul here. Obviously, you know, we wanted to stay ahead of our green zone. The higher we can get, the better. Victories would be nice. Podiums would be nice. Pole would be fantastic. But again, as I said, as long as we can maintain ourselves in that green zone, which here is above 13th, then we will be a satisfied little chicken. As we try our darndest to bridge this gap here to Seb Vettel, who's obviously Mr. Dominant around the streets of Marina Bay. And this is just not the best circuit for our car. We're a high-power car, of course, with the most powerful engine in F1. And aerodynamically, well, I'm going to fuck myself over there because I completely lost out there. We'll just go into the bridge section. Well, that was a bad place to flash ourselves back in, Ben. What were you doing? Oh, just well ragged there. That was a terrible place. I wanted to flash back at about here. And you kind of set yourself into a bit of a terrible zone here, because again, you're just going to find yourself, and this is going to be frustrating for you watching at home, folks. I'm sorry about this. I completely did that flashback in the wrong spot. And that's what it is a little bit strategically when it comes to your flashbacks, because you've got to be able to do it in an area where you don't go completely ragged. Now, I don't think we've qualified outside the top 10 all season, have we, folks? So this could be the very first time we do it here. I nearly ran myself into the wall there at that point. Just not paying attention here, Ben. And this is where I should have set the difficulty level on that easy mode that we did for Hungary and Monaco, just to really lock ourselves in. We're going to do that for Japan. That's the only other one I wanted to do it for, because I feel Singapore here we generally can do okay, but as long as we can maybe hang on to a top 10, obviously top 13 we have to. Still here just in the top 10. We've never actually qualified inside the top 10 here at Singapore. 10th is our highest. We're in 7th at the moment. That'll be satisfactory, I feel. If we can maintain it, we've got 8th, 9th. Nice job. Which is our lowest qualifying since Spain. We're actually 10th and 15th. So we have qualified outside the top 10 this season. I correct myself. But yeah, sorry about that. The amount of flashbacks. I didn't want to use that many. So how many are we going to use in the race? My goodness. So our lowest qualifying in quite some time. We out-qualify our rival, though. But this is going to be difficult for the win. We're going to try and push for a podium at least here. But we always knew this one was going to be a bit of a tricky-dicky one for us. So anyway, let's push forward. And we're going to do this now. So, yeah, best finish in Singapore, 6th place. That came after qualifying 10th. That was F1 2016 Season 2. So in terms of F1 2017, we were 9th here last season. So obviously again flashbacks implemented, as you clearly saw there. Had to use a few. Right. I don't think we're going to win this one. We haven't been off the podium since Spain. Good show off the podium. Download now via iTunes. That's a bit of a plug for one of our podcasts. There you go. Look, we've reached our goals. We have a new rival. And, well, we're still liked by the teams. We're still moving up the reputation scale. Alrighty, here we go. So, in terms of our form guide, of course, we haven't been out of the point. We're going to be in the points. We are, definitely, with our flashbacks. But haven't been off the podium. Again, I'm saying that since Spain. And even then with 6. And before that, you have to look at Russia on the podium. So, we've only been off the podium 3 times this year out of 13 races. So, 10 podiums. And, of course, we've won 7 races. We've won more than half of the Grand Prix this season. And we're leading the championship. Oh, God, it's a wet one. Uh-oh. Looks like it's pissing down, too. Is this going to be full wet? This is going to be a very long flashback-filled race here, folks. You're already looking at the length of this video compared to some others, no doubt. Yeah, we're on full wets. Wow, okay. It's been a while since we've had a full wet race. Full wets in Singapore is not what we want. And we're also on the outside as well. Oh, they're holding us long at the start. We're underway. Oh, we're sliding off the line already. We cross across there to try and get into the inside as we break ourselves into turn 1 and avoid a Red Bull. Gee, it's difficult to see. That visibility is very, very low. We hold on to this there, push aside. Well, we'll get a big slide out of the turn. I think it's Verstappen on the right-hand side of us there because it looks like Ricciardo's ahead of us. And wow, how do we hold on to that? I know we've got flashbacks here so we can push it just a little bit more ragged. But I'll tell you what, if we didn't have flashbacks, I don't think I would have had the balls to do as what I did there. To hold on to it at that grip level. And it is so difficult to see here properly the back of the cars. As you can see, just approaching the back of Ricciardo. Between those tyres and the dark livery, that is very tricky, Dicky. Okay, yep. Yeah, it did look bad, didn't it, Jeff? Thankfully, we can use flashbacks in our current status. Thank fuck for that. Otherwise, we were just gone. Well, we'll say, though, like, I know our non-retirement streak is kind of technically not true. But, I mean, considering a lot of the flashbacks we use aren't necessarily for retirements, I think it's only probably been about 3 races we've technically retired from with flashbacks. So, I mean, you know, we have done generally okay. Oh, God. We're getting in tight there, but it's very difficult to overtake. And, 2-second penalty. That was a little bit much there. You usually get a warning, don't you, first? It's a bit of bullshit there. Fair enough. Anyway. Last thing we want is a penalty. Or a damaged front wing, or anything along those lines. We want to be able to hold on to the back of this little battle here. We're in 6th, which is the highest we've ever finished, of course, in Singapore. I'm probably going to lose the champ. Jesus Christ, Ben. Told you you're going to have a lot of flashbacks in this race. Particularly it being a wet one and all. Whoa, sliding it there. This is, yeah, going to be frustrating for those at home watching this, of course. I do apologise, folks. I do really apologise that I'm not a very good driver. Keeping this in rich mode still for the time being. Obviously using a little bit more in the wet as well. And Singapore, a circuit that is going to eat up a lot of fuel anyway. It's kind of like Azerbaijan. A little bit trickier than Azerbaijan. Much prefer Azerbaijan to Singapore. Did I make that stick? Did I make that stick? I think I did. I did. How the hell did I make that stick? Now, why do I not get a penalty for that when that was technically gaining an advantage by going off the circuit? If that was real life Formula 1, I think I would be asked to retrieve this position to Daniel Ricciardo, because yes, I passed him on circuit, which is what this game will read, but in all letters of the law, I gained more of an advantage by running myself off the circuit there than I did by braking and going through it properly. So, alright, not going to complain. I mean, I don't want a penalty, but I'm just trying to put the letters of the law here, folks. Anyway, move ourselves up into 5th. We're not going to be tasting champagne here this evening, that's for sure. I mean, unless some sort of... We said that in Britain, really, didn't we? That was the last corner lunge. Here, well, you know, I think we're far from a last corner lunge. At the moment, it's all about defending ourselves from the Red Bulls. So I don't think our reputation from Mercedes and Ferrari is necessarily going to take a climb in this Grand Prix, because we're not really racing them, as I somehow set a purple sector there. And, yeah, that fuel mix, I don't like the look of that, Ben. You need to tone that down. Whoa, what a slide. How the fuck did I hold on to that? Alright, we're going to put that down to standard mode. I can't maintain that. Brakes are getting a little bit red there on the old car map there. This is going to be a bit of a blast from the past, isn't it? The fact that cars ahead are going to pull away and we're just having to defend from behind. It's been a while since we've had a Grand Prix like this. So, a bit of a blast from the past here as we, whoa, get a little bit out of shape there. Now, the last thing we want is to damage a Red Bull, because obviously they've wanted us once, and clearly if Mercedes and Ferrari are going to lose a bit of interest in us from this race, we want to at least maintain some interest from Red Bull, because we don't want to end up at Haas. Because looking after our successful upgrade here, whoa, okay, looking at our successful upgrade here in terms of the overall, shit. Okay, hang on. Just let me focus here for a sec. the overall scheme of our car, we're only just on the cusp of Haas. So we don't really want to move to a team that is only a significant little bit better overall than us. Because again, overall, you're going to stick with Toro Rosso with your engine alone. So, anyway, I know what I'm talking about. That's a tricky little corner in the rain. That's the one where I took Ricciardo, isn't it? So clearly, this is definitely a Grand Prix with the top four miles ahead of us overall. And this is where the overall car shows. And again, if this is a dry race, I wouldn't doubt my ability to get a little bit closer to the top four. But once again, in the wet, we're showing that we're not exactly a good car to have in the wet. And it will really be the only two non-wins we've had since Monaco have really come in wet races. So there's something for you, folks. And I'm going to say I'm going to lose a championship lead here because I'm going to be in 5th. It's going to be reversed from last race, isn't it? Obviously, I won and Vettel was 5th. And this time around, he's going to win, and I'll hopefully stay in 5th. And then that will mean that it will be back to him having a 4-point advantage. Now, Malaysia is a track I'm confident with, particularly with flashbacks. Whereas Japan, obviously, we're going to reduce the difficulty going into that Grand Prix. Just tippy-toe ourselves around here. And depending if we have a bit of a failure at... if Malaysia doesn't stack up too well, we're going to have to probably win the last 4 races to make sure our reputation goes up. Obviously, you know, we're still ahead of our desired reputation here of 11th. But obviously you've got to remember that we need to boost it up significantly. I mean, Red Bull are sort of still there, but Ferrari and Mercedes... over this tricky little bridge section. Oh, no. Yeah, what happened, Jeffrey? How about you go fuck yourself, mate? I told you this is going to be a long race. Alright, we don't want to do it. Make sure we're just into the bridge section here. Whoa. Not to the point where we're going to crash before we even get to the corner, Benjamin. We've got a massive train behind us here. We are the trolley train. Look at the circuit map there, the circuit map, to see just how far behind we are of the top 4. And again, yeah, I know we're in 5th, Jeffrey. That hasn't changed in quite some time. You do realise that, right? Obviously, we're just really holding this pack up as we limp our way. We're only on lap 3 too. I thought we were on lap 4. God, it's feeling long, doesn't it? Alright. Whoa. Whoa. I mean, this would be nice if we were in a Ferrari next year to race here, because obviously, looking at the overall map, they are actually the best car in the game. I thought it was Mercedes, but anyway, I'm wrong. Alright, can we... God, I think Ricciardo's going to get us here. How is he not being able to pass us? And that Red Bull, in terms of the overall package, is so much better than our car. Our car, again, only really good in a fast straight, and this is definitely not the circuit for that, particularly in this weather. Whoa! Avoid the curves, Ben. Grosjean's doing well. Grosjean's in 8th. We just beat him in our rivalry, didn't we? A new rival heading into Malaysia. It's probably going to be fucking Magnussen. Seems that they're only giving us Force Indias and Haas's at the moment, and Renaults every now and then. So they don't feel confident enough to give us a Ferrari, a Mercedes, or a Red Bull, given that we're beating them, or a Williams. We're never going to Williams, which is surprising. Williams really dropped off, didn't they? They were doing well about a season ago. Force India too dropped off. Anyway, interesting. All right. So, how are we all doing, folks? How are we all feeling here? Do you like my noises? We'll say, though, as I keep saying, with full wet race compared to an Inter, I feel the grip is a little better. I mean, clearly, you've got grippier tyres. Not that dumb, but I feel you can push the car a little bit more. Never heard Jeff kind of give you that halfway through the race. Interesting. Interesting we finished this. We would have started 9th, finished 5th. Similar to F1 2016 Season 2 when we started 10th, finished, 6th. So, obviously... Oh, fuck off in the penalty. Go to lick your nuts. Where was it? Okay, we can go here. Anyway, sorry, what was I saying? Yeah, similar thing, obviously. Moving up 3-4 places overall from where we start. Seems to be a Singapore trope, doesn't it? Again, if this is a dry race, much more confident. Right, through this for the penultimate time. Now, I want Vettel to win in terms of the championship, but I guess in terms of, like, for my personal preference, but of course, if I need to be selfish here, I don't want him to win in terms of the fact that I'm actually fighting him for the championship for once, aren't I? So, because he will retake the lead in the championship, and my fleeting lead of the World Championship will last one sole Grand Prix. Final lap now. Thank you, Jeffrey. Thank you very much, sir. Whoa. 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 Very ragged. Raggedy Andy. Can we do a whole lap without a flashback? Look how far ahead that top 4 is. That is crazy. Definitely is not going to help our reputation with those teams this race. That is for sure. That is 100% for sure. It is going to take a... I don't think they'll improve. They might even go down, actually. I don't know how it works. Whether they care about the fact that I finished ahead of where my reputation is, or that I'm not racing them, of course. I mean, by all grand scheme of things, I haven't caught up with them at all this Grand Prix, have I? It's only been the Red Bulls that I've kind of raced with. I mean, that's good for them, but well, for the reputation with them, of course. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. Do I put it into rich mode for the last part of this race? Nah. I think we're fine, aren't we? Oh, God, 0.2 of a lap. Oh, God, no, Ben, no. Don't. Why would you? Why would you try and risk it? It's not even worth it. I mean, it dropped down 2 notches. That's why switching it there to rich mode. Dummy. Alright. Whew. Just talking to myself. Has Vettel won yet? I can't look at the map just yet. No, they're nearly there. Told you this would be a long one, folks. We haven't seen the fireworks yet, have we? That's generally here in Singapore. Whoa, 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 whoa. No, 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 no. Alright. Oh, how did I hold on to that? No, Ricciardo, no. You're not going past me. Bad, Daniel Ricciardo. Bad. There go the fireworks. There goes Vettel winning. So, therefore, I am no longer in the lead of the World Championship unless one of the top 4 can retire at this point of the Grand Prix, which they're not going to. It'd be nice if they could. Those fireworks look amazing, but of course they're very distracting, aren't they, coming into this section? They are. Letting them off, that does look amazing, though, graphically. Whoa, 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 whoa. Can I hold on? I do. Woo! Wow. Don't know how I held on there. I'll take it. Alrighty, well, we're not going to watch the podium. It's the first time in a while we haven't watched the podium. And here it is, the podium. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. So, anyway. Whew, we dropped down. It's disappointing, isn't it, to finish in 5th, even though we should actually be technically happy with that standings. Yeah, we've lost our spot at the top. Do I get driver of the day? Still got driver of the day. Vettel leads, and we've got a good lead over Raikkonen, so that's good. We should finish top 2, so that's a slight positive there to come from that constructor as well. We're not going to be challenged by Red Bull. So let's move ahead here. A bit worried about our reputation. Again, we won't drop it down for Malaysia. It's only Japan will drop it down, and we'll see how we're faring at that point. I think our reputation should be able to maintain itself until the end of the season, but we really want to push it forward for Ferrari, of course. We're obviously going to be leaving. We have to be leaving this time. We've already gotten an offer halfway through the season. You expect us to get at the end. Yeah. Obviously already won. Okay, so... Well, okay. Red Bull's full again. That's good. Mercedes is getting there. Ferrari go up slightly. So, okay, we'll take that. Fair enough. Awesome. Wicked. Alright. Let's go to Malaysia. Like, subscribe, comment. Thank you for tuning to Casual Gamer Oz. We'll see you in Sepang. Goodbye.